If there's a natural disaster or a simple accident, will you lose it all? Do you truly understand the importance of home insurance? Today, I would like to take the time and explain the essentials of home insurance. I hope by the end of this video, you will not only understand the why, but also what you're getting into. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to review your existing coverage, understanding home insurance is crucial for adequately protecting your investment. But before we get started, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest real estate tips and tricks. Please leave a comment down below with any real estate related questions you may have. Also, if you would like to book a call with me, you'll find the link in the description. I would be happy to talk to you, and who knows, maybe I'll get some inspiration for my next video. Home insurance isn't just a requirement, it's your safety net. Let's start by outlining the essential aspects of home insurance. First, we have different coverage types. Home insurance typically includes several types of coverage, such as dwelling coverage, personal property coverage, liability coverage, and additional living expenses coverage. Now, it's super important to make sure that you're taking care of all of your necessities when looking at this, and your policy might actually change over time because you might be living with people to start, you might buy more expensive things along the way. You want to make sure that you have the adequate coverage at all times. Second, we have policy types. So when it comes to home insurance, there are several types of policies that we can consider. Each offers varying levels of coverage to cater to different needs and budgets. We have policies for homes, for condos, for multi-unit buildings, as well as for rentals. Third, we have different coverage limits to look at. So your policy is going to have a coverage limit, which will determine the maximum amount of insurance the company will pay for a claim. Ensure your limits align with your property's value, as well as the goods that you have inside of your property, as well as the varying requirements you're going to have over time. Like I said, you might have bought some jewelry, you might have some art that you invested in. You want to make sure that you're adequately covered for anything that might come your way. Fourth, deductible. Now, deductible is a fancy word for saying the out-of-pocket amount you're going to have to pay for your insurance before it kicks in. Consider your financial situation when selecting a deductible. It's important to note that a lot of the time, if you go with a higher deductible, it's going to lower your annual premium of your insurance. That being said, you want to make sure that this amount is something that's feasible for you to actually pay in need of a crisis. So a lot of the time, the deductible could start at about $500 and it could go up. I mean, I think I've seen $5,000 or $10,000 deductibles, depending on the actual item you're looking to coverage. Personally, I typically go a little bit higher because I know that for a smaller amount, I'm not going to actually do a claim and I'd rather just pay it out of pocket. Fifth, liability protection. Liability coverage protects you if someone is injured on your property or if you accidentally damage someone else's property. It's essential for financial security. And what this is a fancy way of saying, what happens if you mistakenly set the property on fire? What happens if you leave the window open and that causes a pipe to freeze and then a flood happens because of it? This is the kind of liability insurance that you're going to be covered in case of an emergency. Sixth, we have optional coverages. You can add optional coverages like flood insurance, earthquake insurance, or identity theft protection to your policy based on your location and needs. Now, I find these to sometimes be a little bit of an upsell. Obviously, this is location dependent. You want to make sure that you are not at risk of some of these things. Flood risk is super important in Montreal. We make sure that all of our properties have flood risk, but earthquake, at least in Montreal, I think is usually a bit of an add-on that's not usually required. Seventh, we have discounts and savings. Don't forget to ask about discounts. Many insurers offer savings for bundling policies, installing security systems, or having a claims-free history. Some of them will also consider really good credit scores, as well as who your alma mater is. If you went to McGill or Concordia, I know that TD offers a discount on it. So do a lot of the other insurers. So make sure that you ask what programs they have available to you and take advantage of all of them. Eighth, inventory and documentation. You want to make sure that you keep a detailed inventory of your belongings, including photos and receipts. This will be invaluable if ever you need to file a claim. Now, it happened to me a while back. I think I was still in university at the time. I was about 21 years old, and somebody broke into my car, stole a lot of my goods, but I had photos of myself wearing a lot of the stuff. It was my baseball equipment. It was stuff of that nature. And by submitting an Excel spreadsheet with a photo of every single item, as well as what it was, I was able to get refunded through our home insurance policy. So although it's a home insurance policy, it goes beyond and it covers your goods when you're away from the home as well. So it's super important to have, and it's super important to have things documented in order to get recovery of the goods if for whatever reason there is a theft or a fire or something of that nature. 9, review and update. You want to regularly review your policy to ensure it reflects any changes in your home's value or your personal circumstances. So over the years, I added some art to my home, and I want to make sure every year to reassess to make sure that we're adequately covered, as well as, like I said before, jewelry, fine items of that nature, even appliances. Appliances have gotten so expensive depending on what you've purchased. You want to make sure that if, God forbid, something were to happen, you have the appropriate coverage. That's really all we're looking to protect here. Choosing the right insurer is just as important as selecting the right coverage. Research insurers' financial stability, customer service, and reputation. Reading reviews and seeking recommendations can be helpful. Now, I can't stress this enough because a lot of the time we naturally gravitate to who's the least expensive option. But you also want to make sure that you're going to have the right service if ever you have to need to make a claim, that it's not going to get refused for silly reasons. So you really want to do your research here and be super well informed in order to, if it does come down to it and you have to make a claim, well, you're dealing with the right company. Remember, home insurance is your safety net, protecting you from unexpected events and giving you peace of mind. By understanding the essentials and selecting the right policy, you can safeguard your home and assets. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more valuable insights. Feel free to share your questions or thoughts in the comments down below. Your home's protection matters, and I'm here to help you every step of the way.